A soft humming sound filled the room. Lights blinked slowly on a curved ceiling above, glowing a gentle blue. Captain Leon Voss blinked, his vision still cloudy. His body felt heavy, and a dull ache pulsed in his chest. He tried to move, but his arms felt weak. Strange wires were attached to his skin. A clear dome covered the upper half of the medical pod he was lying in. "Where am I?" he whispered. A quiet voice answered, soft and gentle. "You are safe now, Captain Voss. Please, don't move. Too much." Leon turned his head slightly. Standing nearby was a tall figure with smooth violet skin and bright silver eyes. She wore a clean white robe, and her long hair shimmered like moonlight. She didn't look human, but there was nothing threatening in her face. In fact, she looked calm. Kind, even. "Who are you?" Leon asked, his voice rough. "My name is Alira," she said. "I am Valari. I'm here to care for you until you are strong again." Valari. Leon had heard of them. An alien race once ruled by the brutal Zarthul Empire. The same empire humanity had fought for nearly 10 years. The same war that had taken so many lives, including almost his. The last thing he remembered was a battlefield. Fire, explosions, his squad pushing forward while orbital strikes rained down. He had been leading the final charge on Kyrios 9, humanity's last stand in the Outer Rim. "Thought I died," he muttered. "You nearly did," Alira replied. "You were found in the ruins after the battle. A neutral recovery drone brought you to this ship. I volunteered to help you heal." Leon stared at her. "Why?" Alira tilted, her head slightly. "Because your people saved mine. When the Zarthul fell, my home was free again. We could never repay that debt, but I can serve in small ways. Helping someone like you is an honor." Leon didn't know what to say. He had never expected thanks. War had taught him to expect pain, loss, and silence. Gratitude felt strange, almost unreal. He looked around the room. The walls were smooth metal with soft lighting. There was no military symbol, no flag, just a small table, a chair, and a quiet hum that never stopped. Everything was clean, peaceful. Too peaceful. "Is this a Terran ship?" he asked. "No," Alira said. "This is a neutral vessel. It belongs to the Conquered of Life, a group that rescues and heals survivors of war. There are no weapons here, no soldiers, just peace." Leon didn't relax. Peace felt like something far away. He had seen too much. Alira noticed the tension in his face. She walked to a small panel on the wall and touched it. A screen lit up, showing a view of space. Stars slowly drifting past, and the wreckage of ships floating in silence. "You don't have to trust me yet," she said gently. "But you are not a prisoner. You are a guest." Leon watched the screen. Pieces of burned metal and broken fighters spun slowly, lost in the void. Among them were Terran and Zarthul ships, both destroyed, both silent. The war had ended in blood and fire. "How long was I out?" he asked. 4 days, she said. "You were in deep sleep. The damage to your chest and lungs was serious, but your body is healing." He touched his side and winced. A medical, patch-covered part of his chest. He could feel the heartbeat under it, still strong. "Still human?" 4 days, he said again, more to himself. The war might be over by now, or maybe still going somewhere else. Either way, he had survived, but so many hadn't. Alira sat on the chair beside him. "If you wish, I can read to you, or show you something from your home world. Something gentle, something quiet." Leon looked at her. He didn't understand her fully, why she was kind to him, why she had chosen to serve him, but her voice was soft, her presence calm, not like the harsh, cold world he was used to. "You're very different from what I expected," he said honestly. "I know." Alira smiled. "Many think aliens are cruel or strange, but maybe we're not so different. Maybe we all just want peace in the end." Leon closed his eyes for a moment. For the first time in weeks, maybe months, he felt safe. Not strong, not ready, but safe. "All right," he said quietly. "You can stay." Alira nodded. "Then rest, Captain. There is no war here, only healing." Outside the window, the stars continued to drift, silent, watching, waiting for what came next. Leon woke slowly the next morning. The blue lights in the room were softer now, like the sky just before dawn. The dull pain in his chest had not disappeared, but it was less sharp. His body felt a little stronger. Alira was already there, sitting quietly by his side, reading from a small device. She looked up and smiled when she saw him open his eyes. "Good morning, Captain," she said softly. "Morning," Leon answered, trying to sit up, but the weight in his chest pushed him back down. "Don't rush," Alira said, gently. "Your body needs time." Leon looked at her carefully. "Why are you really helping me? You don't have to. Your people, Valari, were freed because of humans. But you don't owe me anything." Alira's eyes brightened, but she stayed calm. "You are right. I do not owe you. But I want to help. When I heard you were found alive, I asked to be your caretaker. It is my way to say thank you." Leon was surprised. Most people in war only wanted to survive or to fight. Gratitude and kindness were rare. "What made you want to fight for? Your freedom?" he asked quietly. Alira looked down for a moment, then back up. "The Zarthul took my family. My home was destroyed. For many years we lived in fear. But when humans came, they fought not just for themselves but for us, for all who suffered. That gave me hope." Leon felt a strange warmth inside. It was not the warmth of battle or victory. It was softer, hope. He thought of the many friends he had lost. The faces of his squad flashed in his mind. Brave soldiers who never made it back. Maybe that hope was the only thing left after all the fighting. "Tell me about your people," Leon said. "What is the Valari home like?" Alira smiled gently. "Our planet, Valara, is full of light and forests. We have tall trees with silver leaves that shine in the moonlight. Our cities float above the ground, held by light energy. We believe in peace and balance with nature." Leon closed his eyes and tried to imagine it. A place so different from the cold metal ships and blasted planets he had known. "Sounds like a dream," he said. "It is," Alira said. "But it was taken from us." A soft beep came from a panel on the wall. Alira stood and walked over to the screen. It showed a map of nearby space. "There is something you should know," she said. "The Zarthul are still near this region. Some refuse to surrender. They want to continue fighting, hunting survivors." Leon's jaw tightened. War was never over, not really. "Are they coming here?" he asked. Alira shook her head. "Not yet, but sensors detect ships moving through the outer edge. If they find this vessel, it could be dangerous." Leon looked out the window at the stars again, silent and cold but full of danger. "I won't let them hurt you," he said, surprising himself. Alira's eyes softened. "I do not fear for myself. I fear for you. You are not well enough to fight." Leon smiled weakly. "Maybe. But I'm not done yet." Alira returned to his side and took his hand gently. "Then I will stay with you. Together we will face what comes." For a moment their hands were still. Leon felt a connection he hadn't known he needed. Not just because she saved his life, but because she believed in him. The door to the room slid open quietly. A small robotic drone floated inside, its lights blinking softly. "Captain Voss," the drone said in a calm voice. "Medical report. Your vitals are stable, but physical therapy is recommended to regain strength." Leon groaned. "Therapy, huh? Guess I'm not off the hook yet." Alira smiled. "I will help you with that." Over the next few hours, Leon tried small movements under Ali, Ra's careful watch. She helped him sit up, then stand, holding his arm steady. At first his legs shook, but he felt stronger with every step. "You're doing well," Alira said. "Soon you will walk on your own." Leon nodded, feeling a spark of hope. For the first time since the battle, he thought maybe he could heal, not just his body, but his spirit. As the day passed, Alira showed him images from Valara on her device. Photos of glowing forests, peaceful rivers, and the Valari people smiling under their silver trees. Leon stared, feeling a strange longing for a world he had never seen. "Do you think I will ever see your home?" he asked. Alira looked at him, with a shy smile. "If you wish, I will take you one day, when you are stronger." Leon's heart beat faster. The idea of leaving war behind, of exploring a new world with someone who cared, it was a hope he never dared to imagine. That night, as Leon lay back in the pod, Alira sat beside him, her hand resting gently on his. "We all need something to believe in," she said softly. "You saved my people. Now I want to help save you." Leon closed his eyes. For the first time in a long time, he let himself believe in something new. The war might have ended, but his journey was just beginning. The quiet hum of the ship was suddenly broken by a sharp, urgent sound. Red lights flashed on the walls and a low alarm echoed through the halls. Leon, still weak but alert, sat up quickly in his pod. Alira was at his side in an instant, her silver eyes wide with concern. "What is it?" Leon asked, trying to push himself up. The ship's AI voice filled the room, calm but serious. "Warning. Unknown vessel detected approaching. Potential threat identified. Recommend immediate safety protocols." Leon frowned. "Unknown vessel? Could it be Zarthul?" Alira nodded. "It is possible. Some Zarthul forces did not surrender. They continued to hunt survivors." Leon's heart beat faster. After all he had been through, the war was still chasing him. "Can we fight?" he asked. The AI responded, "The ship is not armed for battle. Defense systems are limited. Evacuation is the recommended course of action." Leon clenched his fists. "I'm not leaving without a fight." Alira placed a gentle hand on his arm. "Your body is still weak. You need to rest." He shook his head. "No, I'm a soldier. I won't run." The ship's small windows showed the vast darkness outside. A dark shape moved slowly toward them. Fast, sleek, dangerous. Leon stood up with Alira's help. "Show me everything you have. I want to know what we're facing." Alira moved to a control panel and tapped it quickly. A 3D image appeared. Above the table, a sharp black ship covered in weapons and glowing red lights. "Zarthul Hunter," she said quietly. "They are skilled and ruthless. Their goal is to capture or destroy any survivors." Leon studied the image. His mind raced through memories of battles, strategies, and survival. "We can't outrun them," he said. "But maybe we can outsmart them." Alira looked at him, surprised. "What do you mean?" "We use what we have," Leon said, pointing to the ship's limited weapons and shield controls. "You help me control the ship. Together we can try to defend ourselves." Alira hesitated but then nodded. "I will do whatever I can." They moved quickly. Leon focused on the targeting system while Alira managed the ship's power. The shields were weak and the weapons old, but it was all they had. The enemy ship came closer, its red lights glaring like angry eyes. "Prepare to engage," Leon said, his voice steady despite the danger. Alira activated the weapons. A few weak pulses of energy shot out, but the Zarthul ship barely slowed. "We need to move," Leon said. "Try to steer us toward the nearby asteroid field. We can use it for cover." Alira worked the controls, twisting and turning the ship toward the floating rocks. The Zarthul ship followed, firing laser beams that cut through space like sharp knives. "Hold steady," Leon ordered. "Wait for my signal." The ship shuddered as it took a hit, alarms blaring. "Shields at 50%, Alira reported. We won't last long." Leon's mind raced. He remembered a tactic used by his squad on Kareos 9, a sudden dive, then a quick retreat to confuse the enemy. "Now," he shouted. Alira pushed the controls, sending the ship diving quickly between two large asteroids. The Zarthul ship tried to follow, but crashed into a smaller rock. A bright explosion lit up the dark space. Leon let out a breath he didn't know he was holding. "We bought some time," he said. Alira smiled, a little relief in her eyes. "You're good at this." Leon shrugged. "I've had practice." The enemy ship recovered quickly and continued pursuit. The fight was far from over. "We can't keep running," Leon said. "We need a plan." Alira nodded. "There is a damaged space station nearby. It is abandoned, but we might find supplies or weapons there." Leon considered the risk. It was dangerous, but staying here meant certain defeat. "Set course for the station," he ordered. Alira entered the coordinates. The ship veered away from the asteroid field, heading toward the silent station. As they moved, Leon looked at Alira. "Thank you for staying with me." She looked back, eyes bright. "I promised. I will not leave you." Leon felt a rare warmth in his chest. After so much loss and pain, someone cared, someone believed in him. The stars outside stretched endlessly. The war was not over, but Leon was not alone. Together, they would face whatever came next. The abandoned space station loomed ahead, a dark silhouette against the stars. Once a busy hub for travelers and traders, now it floated silently, its metal, shell-scarred from years of neglect and battle. Leon watched it carefully from the ship's window. "We don't know what we'll find there," Alira said softly. "But we need supplies to repair this ship." Leon nodded. His body still ached, but the fire inside him burned brighter than ever. "Let's hope it's not completely empty." The ship slowly moved toward the station's docking bay. Outside, twisted metal and broken lights told stories of chaos long past. As the ship docked, the quiet hum was replaced by the creaks and groans of the station settling. Leon stood, steadying himself against the wall. "I'll go first," he said. Alira shook her head. "No. We go together. You are still weak." Leon smiled faintly. "Then watch my back." They stepped through the airlock into the station's dark corridors. Her footsteps echoed against cold metal walls. The air was stale and small lights flickered above. "Stay close," Leon said, gripping the small energy pistol he had found on the ship. Alira moved silently beside him, her eyes scanning every shadow. They entered the main chamber. Broken consoles and scattered debris lay everywhere. The silence was heavy, too heavy. Suddenly a noise shattered the stillness. Metal scraping against metal. Something moved in the shadows. Leon raised his pistol. "Show yourself." A figure stepped forward, a Valari scavenger, ragged but alive. Relief flooded Leon's chest. "Thank the stars," the scavenger said quickly. "I thought no one was left." Leon lowered his weapon. "We need supplies and repairs. Can you help?" The scavenger nodded. "I know this place well. Follow me." They moved deeper into the station. The scavenger led them to a storage room, filled with tools, spare parts, and rations. "This will help," the scavenger said. Leon looked at the supplies, then at Alira. "We're lucky." Suddenly, the ship's alarms blared loudly. The station's old security system had detected their presence. Alira's eyes widened. "They found us." Leon moved to a window overlooking the docking bay. Outside, the Zarthul hunter ship had arrived, its weapons glowing ominously. "They came faster than we expected," Leon said grimly. The scavenger looked worried. "There's no time to waste. You must leave now." Leon nodded. "We'll try." Back on the ship, Leon and Alira worked quickly. Leon used the tools to fix the damaged power systems while Alira managed the ship's controls. The Zarthul ship closed in, firing laser beams that tore through the station's outer walls. "Shields at 30%, Alira reported. "We need to move." Leon finished repairs and stood ready. "Prepare for takeoff." The engines roared to life, shaking the ship as it lifted off. Outside, the station trembled under enemy fire. As they cleared the station's orbit, the Zarthul ship fired a powerful blast, hitting the hull. The ship rocked violently, alarm screaming. Leon gritted his teeth. "Hold on!" Alira focused on steering, weaving the ship through the debris field near the station. The Zarthul hunter was relentless, firing again and again, but Leon's quick decisions and Alira's skill kept them just ahead. "We're almost out of range," Alira said breathlessly. Leon aimed the ship's limited weapons and fired a burst. The Zarthul ship shuddered but did not stop. Suddenly, the enemy ship launched a drone. It sped toward them, small and deadly. Leon activated the ship's laser turret. "Target the drone!" A beam of light cut through the darkness, destroying the drone before it could reach them. "Good shot," Alira said, smiling. Leon smiled back, feeling stronger with every moment. Finally, the Zarthul ship gave up the chase. Retreating into the darkness, Leon and Alira exhaled deeply, their hearts pounding. "We made it," Leon said. Alira nodded. "But we are not safe yet." Leon looked at her, determination shining in his eyes. "Then we keep fighting, together." Outside, the stars blinked quietly, as if watching two unlikely allies become more than just survivors. The ship floated silently above a distant planet, its surface scarred and broken. Once a battlefield, now a graveyard. Leon watched the shattered land below, feeling a strange mix of sorrow and resolve. "We need to land," he said, voice steady despite the pain in his chest. "We can't keep drifting out here." Alira nodded. "There is a small valley below. It is protected from storms and radiation. We can try to find supplies there." Leon checked the controls. The ship was damaged but could still make a rough landing. He took a deep breath and guided them down through the thinning atmosphere. The landing was rough. The ship shuddered and groaned as it touched the ground, kicking up dust and debris. Leon opened the door carefully. The air was thin but breathable, with a faint smell of burned metal and dry earth. They stepped outside. The valley was quiet and still. Broken weapons, burnt vehicles, and empty helmets littered the ground, reminders of a fierce battle fought weeks ago. Leon's heart tightened. This was where his unit had fought. Many of his comrades had fallen here. He knelt by a twisted piece of armor and closed his eyes. "I wish I could have saved more." Alira placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. "You did well. You could. You survived. That is more than many." Leon looked at her, grateful for her kindness. "Thank you." They began to explore the valley, searching for anything useful. Alira's sharp eyes spotted a partially buried crate near some rocks. Leon pulled it free. Inside were ration packs, medical supplies, and a small device, a distress beacon, old but working. "This could help us," Leon said, hope flickering in his voice. Alira smiled. "If we can send a signal, we might get rescue." As they set up the beacon, Leon's thoughts drifted to the war, to the friends lost, to the price of freedom. "Tell me more about your family," Leon said quietly. "What was life like before the war?" Alira's eyes grew distant, her voice soft. "My family lived in a small village under the silver trees of Villara. We were simple people, loving and peaceful. When the Zarthul came, everything changed. My parents were taken, my home destroyed." Leon's heart ached at her words. The pain of loss was something he knew too well. "I'm sorry," he said, voice gentle. Alira shook her head. "We all carry our wounds, but we also carry hope." Leon looked at her and saw strength beyond the scars of war. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows over the valley, the beacon finally blinked with a faint signal. "We've done it," Alira said. "Help is on the way." Leon allowed himself a small smile. For the first time in a long time, hope felt real. Suddenly, a noise startled them, a soft rustling in the nearby bushes. Leon raised his pistol, ready to defend. Out stepped a small group of survivors, humans and Villari alike, weary but alive. One stepped forward, a young human woman with kind eyes. "We thought we were the only ones left," Leon lowered his weapon, relief washing over him. You're safe now. The survivors gathered around, sharing stories and supplies. Together, they began to plan their next move. Leon looked at Alira, feeling a bond deeper than words. The war had taken much, but it had not taken everything. Together, they would rebuild. Together, they would survive. The small camp in the valley was quiet under the stars. Survivors gathered around a modest fire, sharing warmth and stories. Leon sat beside Alira, feeling a calm he hadn't known in months. The distress beacon had sent a signal far beyond the broken world beneath them. Rescue was coming, but not soon enough. Leon looked at Alira, her silver eyes reflecting the flickering flames. She seemed tired but determined. Do you ever miss your home? He asked softly. Alira nodded. Every day. Valara is beautiful, full of life and light. It feels like a dream now. Leon smiled gently. I want to see it someday. She looked at him, a soft blush coloring her cheeks, a sign of deep feeling among the Valari. I would like that, she whispered. Leon felt his heart beat faster. War had changed him, but here, with her, he felt something new, a hope for the future. Suddenly, a distant sound broke the peace, a faint hum growing louder. Alira stood quickly. The rescue ship. Leon stood too, alert. The ship appeared over the horizon, shining bright against the dark sky. As the rescue vessel landed nearby, Leon felt a mix of relief and sadness. The war might be over, but leaving this place, these people, was difficult. The captain of the rescue ship, a tall woman with a confident smile, greeted them. Captain Voss, we've been searching for you. Leon nodded. We're ready to go home. Alira hesitated. And what about me? Leon looked at her, knowing this moment had come. You'll come with me, he said firmly. You saved my life. Now I want to stand by yours. Her eyes shone with emotion. I would like that. As they prepared to leave, Leon spoke with the survivors. We will return. We will rebuild. The survivors smiled, hope returning to their faces. On board the rescue ship, as Earth grew closer through the viewports, Leon and Alira sat side by side. Thank you, Leon said quietly, for everything. Alira smiled. No, thank you, for saving my people, and for giving me hope. Leon reached out, taking her hand gently. The stars outside stretched endlessly. The war was behind them, but their journey was just beginning. Together, they would face whatever the future held. The rescue ship sliced through space, carrying Leon and Alira closer to Earth. The blue planet grew larger in the viewport, bright and full of life. After months of war and silence, the sight was almost overwhelming. Leon sat beside Alira, holding her hand gently. The long journey had given them time to think, to heal, and to dream. Do you remember when I first woke up? Leon asked, his voice soft. Alira smiled, her silver eyes shining. You were angry and tired, but alive. And I knew then I wanted to help you. Leon laughed quietly. I thought I was alone. You were never alone, she said. Not really. They looked out the window together. The stars faded as Earth's blue and green colors filled the view. As the ship entered Earth's atmosphere, a feeling of hope grew inside Leon. The war was over. The Zarthul Empire was defeated. But the real victory was the future ahead, a future built by those who survived and cared for each other. When the ship landed, officers and medics rushed to greet them. Leon was welcomed as a hero, but his attention was only on Alira. She stood, quietly beside him, calm and strong. One officer stepped forward. Captain Voss, the people of Earth are proud of you. Your courage saved countless lives. Leon nodded, but his thoughts were elsewhere. He turned to Alira. This is home now, but I want to learn about your home too. Alira smiled. And I want to show you Valara someday, a place of peace. Together, they walked away from the crowd, ready to face whatever came next. In the days that followed, Leon was celebrated, but his greatest joy was sharing quiet moments with Alira. They spoke of dreams, hopes, and the new life they wanted to build. One evening, under Earth's stars, Leon took her hand. "I fought to protect humanity, but now I want to protect you." Alira looked into his eyes. "And I want to stand by your side." They smiled, knowing that their journey was only beginning. The war was behind them, but the story of humanity, of hope, courage, and connection, would go on. Together, they faced the future. Together, they would build a new world.